Alright, so some of you are actually going to appreciate the fact that I overanalyze too much because you need somebody like me that's descriptive because that's going to make the decision on whether or not you want to buy a product or not. Well, let's see what we're talking about. So as some of you may know, I've acquired the uh, Maykker handy sleeve. Just a fairly new product for those who haven't heard of the handy sleeve. It is quite handy. Now today, I told you I will work with the product and really give y'all some valuable input because there is not enough information on this tool, pros and cons. And with any product, I don't care what it is, there's always going to be a pro and a con because what works for someone may not work for everyone because everyone has a different way of using certain products. Now, they make suggestions in the instructions on how to use that product, but by any means is any one product inferior to being, pristine and just flawless. All right, there's issues with it, but there's some of those issues are issues that we can live with. Now, you can take this information and use it to the better good to make a decision on should you purchase a product. Me, in my opinion, yes, I think you should purchase a product. I'm here at one of my jobs, but I know I may ramble on at times, and if you can even get past that, sometimes the finish line is worth the reward because you will gain some info that you might have not heard anywhere else. So yes, this video, you will hear things that come out of reviewers and users' mouth that you won't hear anywhere else. There's just not enough people talking about this product. So let me just go out here and show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you everything that I've used this tool for and why I've done it. If you want to get some ideas, that's fine. I'm also going to break down the efficiency of this tool and where I think it should be go next time in the second model of the handy sleeve. All right, so right here, I wanted to say this is good, right? It gets the ledges good. All right, so if you take it and run it along that ledge, you don't have to bend down or nothing, right? I just did these windows, so not only is this porch area dusty, it has crud on it, right? Let me just show you. You see? It has crud on there. All right, so where this comes into play, it gets that crud off real easy, right? And the rag will not fall off. I know I'm missing the angle. You see how nice and clean it comes out? And here's what you have. That's on the rag. All right, that's all that dirt, pollen, and dust. All right, now when you come over to here on this type of ledge, this is what you're going to run into, right? Now, this is not a big deal, mind you. Again, I'm just giving you the pros and cons of what to expect. All right, so if you take this and run it along the edge, right, that ledge looks clean, right? But if you look closely, if you got a heavily soiled ledge, hold on, let me clean my lens. All right, you see that? It doesn't get in the corners. Now, that's not a big deal. If you're meticulous and you're anal, then that is a problem, especially on new construction builds. So why does it do that? Why does it get the ledge but not the corners? Well, it's pretty much not rocket science. Well, let's take a closer look at why it doesn't do that. So on the corner of this mop, it doesn't have fur, and you would have to literally play around too much to get those corners, right? Because it's round and it's fat, it is not going to get up to the crease corner of any ledge such as that when you have it heavily soiled like that, right? So what I think should happen the next time is that these ends should be tapered to a point. Now I know that may be a big thing to have to try to do, because then that means you'll have to change the design of the cover as well as the whole tool in general. But that's something that maybe could be thought of next time. But that's not the big con, all right? The second con, there's two cons. The second con, I'm not going to list all the pros because there's just too many, and I'm finding new pros all the time. I actually water fed this, so that's another story. Some of you already know why I've done that. I took the line out because I don't need it for this job. So, hey, Johnny, what's crack-a-lacking? All right, so back to what I was saying is that here's another con. Now, you see all these fuzzies? Now, this wasn't like that. It had a little bit on there because I told you another YouTuber was nice enough to send this to me to try because he had a few of them. So, what is these fuzzies? No, it's not from the microfiber rag. I'll tell you what it's from. It's from your bronze wool pad. Now, until they design a bronze wool pad that the back of the cotton fibers do not pull apart so easily, this thing was coated and it was useless. It will not stick to nothing else, including your rag. So I told you how to clean these things up. If you have one of those little track seal brushes, you can get them for like $1.50 or $1 or so at Harbor Freight. Even the dollar store will have it. They have a steel one, they have a brass one, and then they have a nylon one, right? So you want to brush to the pattern of these sticky things, right? You want to brush the same way, and those will pull these things out. Now, I didn't get crazy. I will do this another time and get them all off. But I wanted to get the bulk of it off so now it could actually stick. You feel me? That's what this tool is for. If you're going to use bronze wool pad, just be aware of the cons that you will have. So literally you would have to have two. One just for the bronze wool pad, but once you rip that bronze wool pad off, you will not, I repeat, you will not get another one on there unless you clean this up. This is vital. This is crucial. No one's talking about this. Why? Because it's pretty much not rocket science. You see something and it's not working. Obviously, it's because of all these darn fibers, all right? So you just got to be mindful of what you use. Now, you could wrap steel wool around here, but I don't think you want to do that because you really don't need this tool if you're going to go that route. Basically, it is good for the bronze wool pad and your towel. But as I was saying, you got to be mindful of those fibers. I wouldn't recommend doing it. I know Richie, I have nothing against Richie. Richie's my homie, and he has a great mind. But just beware, if you do what this tool suggests and recommends, just be mindful of these fibers. You're going to set yourself up for an aggravating issue, especially when you're on a job, all right? And you didn't think about that. It's so simple and so it doesn't even matter, but it does. You feel me? So I just wanted to say again, if you're doing real dirty ledges, just be prepared that it's not going to get the corners like that. You see, it's still it's still dust in the corners right there. Now this account, because we're really sort of outdoors, but let's say that was indoors. Customers don't want to see that. No one's really going to bother me because I have history with these people, but I'm not going to get crazy and go all in the corners. You can, but yeah, what's the difference of just bending down and wiping it with your hand and getting the corners? Yes, you could very well do that. But if you have a whole side of a building, a quarter of a mile long, what would you rather do? Would you rather keep bending down every ledge? You could. Yeah, if you're young and you're a spring chicken, it's not going to matter. But when you're old, you got to work smarter, not harder, and that's working smarter. So if you put that, you can actually move quicker because your arm, this pole is like an extension of your arm. You have more surface ground area to cover with very little movement, if that makes sense. Which is why I am better cleaning windows with a pole than I am cleaning them in my hand, if that makes sense. Because I can move much quicker and I can move with precision. So this is Masters at Wagtail. I think I've talked your ears off enough about the pros and cons of that tool. There is more. I'm sure I will search for them, but right now, I think that's as good as you're going to get. But I really do think the ends should be tapered, the middle should be fatter, or he can make a more streamlined thing just for the corners alone, or maybe design an end on the corner where that won't be an issue. Because if you're going to have to worry about the corners, then that means you're going to have to get down low and use your finger or just wrap the pole around the tip and get in that little crease in the corner. Like, let me show you what I mean.